Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Exploring Temecula. On today's episode, we are actually interviewing a former high school / resident, Kendall Leander, and she has been writing blog posts for me for about 3 months. And we've been trying to get on this topic on a video because I get so many calls. Everybody that calls me from my channel and wants to move to Temecula, one of the top questions, or the number one question, is always, how are the schools? So I thought it would be a really good idea to interview a former high school student. And here we go, Kendall. If you just want to, introduce yourself, give a little background of, you growing up in Temecula, just take it away.
Yeah. Hi guys. I'm Kendall. I'm 23 years old, and I'm an only child. My parents moved to Temecula about a year after I was born from Orange County. And I mean, they tell me Temecula was nothing but dirt and a couple buildings when they moved, and it's just really exploded. I feel as though I had the perfect childhood. I have nothing bad to say. I'm so blessed to have lived there. And my dad actually was a school teacher in Orange County, and he moved to Temecula and has been teaching in the schools in the area ever since. And I think he would agree. He has nothing but great things to say about his experience as a teacher within the district as well.
So, Kendall, the first question I have for you is, what was your overall experience just going to school from, elementary, middle, and all the way up to high school in Temecula?
Yeah. I started at a little Sunshine Preschool, and then I went through Abby Rinke Elementary, TMS, Temecula Middle School, and then ended up at Great Oak High School. And like I said, my dad is a school teacher with the district. He's at Great Oak right now, and we had a lot of friends who were kind of pushing for either private school or homeschooling, but my dad just so believes in the public school system, and so my parents thought it was really important that I would go through that as well. And I had the best experience. I loved, obviously the learning aspect is huge. I felt like I was always able to have great relationships with my teachers, and they really just create a healthy learning environment, I believe. I felt safe and secure all my years throughout school, and just the relationships that I made, I still hold on to a lot of those. They were really good about, in all schools, all around learning and throwing in field trips or activities. I felt that I was able to kind of explore, even as a kid, all the different parts of life with hobbies and stuff outside of school. So I think it's super well-rounded, but also hits all the basics of everything that I needed to know to kind of be who I am today. So
awesome. So from start to finish, elementary, we're not going to really get into a lot of elementary stuff just because there's so many elementary schools here in Temecula. But middle and high school, can you say that generally speaking, it doesn't matter where you're going to live in Temecula, the experience that most kids are going to have is pretty uniform throughout the middle and high schools, again, throughout Temecula?
Yeah, I do have to say, it is what you make of it. I took advantage of my teachers and the opportunities for activities that the school put on. I was involved in choir, and so if you want to have a good time, you will. It's impossible not to if you're wanting to be invested in these schools. So they really do have a lot to offer. You just have to, want it. So yeah.
Okay. And you felt that the teachers, my parents are both school teachers as well. I started as a school teacher, but did you feel, that they gave 100% effort, and that they really loved their jobs, and that they really loved being with the kids, and felt like a personal responsibility almost to make sure that they got through school and got to the next level?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1,000%. And like I said, I'm one of those people that enjoyed school, but even the students that, and is obviously they don't want to be there, the teachers still will put in 100% effort with them as well, which is huge because they kind of need that support a lot of times. So yes, they were all great, always positive moods in the classroom. And yeah, I'm still like if I see them, I'll still say hi to them. Like they still remember me years later, which is insane for how many students come through their classrooms. So yeah, I think really great people all around in our programs.
Okay, so what I say a lot in my videos, and I talk about this a lot, that Temecula has some of the highest test scores, overall school scores throughout California. In your opinion, in your experience, the educational side of it, you know, the classes that you took in high school, were they on point? Was it, you know, chaotic in any way? Was the classroom a really good learning environment? Did you, you know, basically get the opportunity to get the best out of, you know, what the California standard curriculum would be, from your teachers, from the school, you know, just the overall setup for you in regards to your education?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say so. I think I went into college feeling extremely prepared. I think the schools do a good job of having all the resources that you need, whether that be for science experiments or whatever. And if they don't have it on campus, they'll try to pull it in from outside. So like in middle and high school, we would have a lot of, I don't know, I guess like events or activities that people come in and do kind of events on campus, which was really nice too. Um, so yeah, I think all around, all the subjects were inclusive and very good. I know Great Oak, some high schools tend to do a little more kind of career oriented classes. I think Great Oak is still missing out a little bit on that. They have all that you need to that will prepare you up until college, but not necessarily, they haven't dove into like career specific classes yet, which I think could be really beneficial. But you can find all of that stuff outside of the class. It's just usually not offered on your typical like school.
Okay. So my next question, another thing that people often ask me, their kids are in sports, they're in competitive sports, and I just wanted to get into and ask Kendall, you know, the opportunity to be playing sports past high school. Does the high school have these sports to, you know, do they have sports, and are they equipped enough to get these kids to the next level? So Kendall, can you talk a little bit about the sports, and probably maybe the more popular sports, and if you know of any kids that are able to play beyond high school, maybe get scholarships and things like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played tennis my all 4 years of high school, and then leading up to that as well. And I played through university, which was great. I would say the most competitive sports in kind of my mind right now, football has always been a huge one. All the programs are super competitive. Soccer is another really popular one for our valley. Baseball, and with that, I think softball too is kind of up there. But yeah, all the high school campuses have swim, track and field. Everything is super competitive. And I can confidently say from my graduating class, I know one person in every sport who went on to play college athletics. So
Wow.
yeah, it's so doable. It's so common. We have a couple like signing days throughout the year that the high school puts on where you can sign your application letters and stuff. So yeah, it's so doable. The coaches are very helpful in either making videos or any kind of contact with coaches they already have. They're very helpful in kind of establishing those connections. So yeah, it's 100% doable. A lot of people have done really well with it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I mean, a couple of the points, you know, that's how I actually got to the United States, came to play hockey. A couple of the points that you made that I feel that are very important is, you know, having a coach that's going to go the extra mile. You mentioned making a videotape of you, and how important that is to get that videotape maybe out to these different colleges to have them come see you in person. You know, so thank you very much on that. Is there a golf team?
Yeah, my high school, kind of golf and tennis. I think we kind of hide a little bit. We're not as big as like football and stuff, obviously. But yes, all the high schools do have a men and women's golf team. So
with the current environment, I wanted to ask you this question because I think it's important. And one of the reasons I did not keep teaching in California Being totally honest, I was in a school district that I didn't particularly like many, many years ago. The kids were disrespectful. It wasn't a good environment to teach. And I feel that, as good as a teacher is, sometimes they have to have a good environment, or at least the kids have to have a good working environment, no matter how good the teacher is. So can you just talk a little bit about the environment?
Yeah, so I've been out of high school 5 years now. But yes, I think my classmates, people I was surrounded with, they did take it seriously as you can as a teenager. But yeah, it really, again, it is back to what you made it. We were all, I think, just very aware, like we were sharing the space and like taking responsibility of our time in school and what we wanted that to look like. So yeah, I had a very positive experience and was challenged a lot. I think if that's something that is very important to somebody, they should also be taking like AP and IB classes, because you definitely do get those people who kind of just want to, I don't know, just kind of hide away for 4 years. And I will say with COVID, I know from my dad's experience, that's been a little bit harder. When you're just talking to students through a screen, it's a lot easier to kind of just zone out. But yeah, the school is at its best when everybody's in person. So it looks like we're almost there, with that being fully restored to normal. So yeah, the environment was really great for me.
And next, are you still friends with some of the kids that you went to high school with?
Yeah, still today, my top 3 best friends are from my high school tennis team. And I have a lot of people too at home. A lot of us tend to stay around the couple years after college. And yeah, 1000%. If I could give you bigger words, I would, but they're incredible people and still some of my best friends. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kendall. And for everybody that's watching this, if you have specific questions about high schools or middle schools or high schools in Temecula, you can leave that question in the comment. You can call me and I can reach out to Kendall. I'm sure she'd be glad to answer those questions for you. And hopefully this video gave you a little insight from an actual student that grew up in Temecula, went through the whole school system. And what I tell people is, yes, Temecula is a great area if you have kids, for many reasons, but of course, one of the most important ones is school. So thank you very much. And next, we are going to do a video coming up about the private schools. Again, I don't have experience with that. So Kendall is going to go over and talk about the private schools and hopefully give you some more insight on whether or not those would work for you. And also, maybe draw some comparisons of both. And so it will help you make a better decision moving forward. So thank you very much from Exploring Temecula.